A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
It's not just throwback night, it's throwback night on a throwback track. Welcome to 2008, and welcome to Phoenix Raceway. It is time for round 14 of the 10th season of the Venom Truck Series, and it's the Venom Blast from the Past 125 around Classic PIR. Welcome into Turn 200's coverage of the Venom Truck Series. It's Tommy Cook, it's Matt Williamson. Partner, it's throwback night. We got a great crop of trucks out here on the track. They look fantastic, and it's good to be back at Old Phoenix.
Yeah, good trucks on the racetrack, and I mean, yeah, this is a track that doesn't just get raced very often anymore, but it's different, you know. I mean, there's a lot of tire degradation here. You know, the tires go away quickly. Oftentimes it can turn into a strategy race, which is something that you and I both like. It's a nice throwback here rather than some of the other places that are typical for a throwback race.
Well, looking at the points, 2 rounds to go in the regular season. We have 3 distinct groups here on this graphic. 2 drivers that don't have to worry about anything, a whole bunch of other drivers that just need a solid night tonight, and I'd say about half this graphic that he's in full-on panic mode.
Yeah, well, those first 2, Matt Schlosser, Brody Gunter, 1 and 2, you can see there in green, they are locked in already on points. Although, I mean, for Schlosser vying for a second straight regular season championship, Brody Gunter has made up a heck of a lot of ground on him in the last few weeks. So, Matt, if he wants to hang on to that, is going to have a couple good weeks here to close out the regular season. Then you go down there, John Kay, Josh Monacek, Chad Stern, Zach Lockett, Andy Poliski, and Jan Van Leer. Those drivers on the left-hand side in white all just need to have a solid night here tonight to set them up for a good shot at getting in after next week at Indianapolis. I should know, I do believe is it 53 points or 54 points?
54 points.
54 points will get you locked into the championship after tonight if you're 54 points above the cut line. And then you go to the drivers that are in fight for their life mode here to have a chance at the playoffs, at the chase for the Nathan Reynolds Cup. Andy Ducato, Garrett Rainey are currently in the those two transfer positions at 9th and 10th. Josh Freed only 7 points behind. Paul Ellison 12 points outside the cut line. Kyle Zittel, Austin Holyfield, Steve Roman all right there as well. But I mean, Andy and Garrett only 12 and 7 points to the good right now. Certainly not feeling comfortable with that.
You want to talk about trending drivers? The Andys are trending the wrong direction. Poliski's moved from 3rd to 7th in the last 2 races. Ducato has moved down a couple of positions and quite a few markers as well. Drivers trending in the right direction. Paul Ellison, Kyle Zittel, Austin Holyfield, they all made up double-digit points to the cut line last week. Paul Ellison in particular made up a whole bunch of points, and he'll look to do that once again here this evening. 23 drivers still eligible to make it to the postseason. We're going to cut a lot of those drivers. After 125 laps here tonight, it's the blast from the past, 125, and it's a throwback to last week when Brody Gunter got the pole, because he got the pole again. It is career pole number 14, and the Tech Tape Pole Award goes to driver 24 for one night only. How about that? Starting to his outside is Matt Schlosser, the driver that he is battling for the regular season championship, and a Steve Roman throwback tonight. Sam Baumgarten is back for the first time since round 7. He starts on the inside of row number 2. Austin Holyfield with the 6th place finish last week in Monza. Joshua Matichek and Andy Poliski on row number 3. It's Lucas Carver and Zach Lockett on row 4. Steve Roman and Kyle Zittel round out your top 10 starters. Hayden Palumbo and Jack Watts, 2 drivers that desperately need a perfect night tonight to stay in contention for the postseason. They start on row 6. John Kay and Cole Maxwell on row 7. It is Jan Van Leer, Chad Stearns, Garrett Rainey, Joshua Rutherford, Josh Freed, and Gary Clark in the top 20. 29 drivers in the lineup here tonight, including Robin Young, who we have not seen in a number of weeks. He will tag the tail as Matt Williamson will give us the weather conditions out here in the desert and maybe some strategy.
Yeah, first off, looking at the weather conditions, 98 degrees is the track temperature right now. The drivers are going to want this track in particular to be as cool as possible. It is cloudy. They're going to hope that the track temperature might even continue to go down a little bit here as we roll along. We have 125 laps around Phoenix here tonight. I mean, on fuel, I think we can make it on a one-stop. However, your tires will not like that in the slightest. I think this could be a 2-stop race just for the tires. But, of course, I mean, this is a tight little racetrack here. It's very slippy. I see that Joshua Rutherford in the chat said very, very loose and then gets tight and then snappy again. So, I mean, cautions could be plentiful here tonight, or I also think this track has a good possibility at some green flag running.
The OG start-finish line. Down the front stretch here at Phoenix, it's Brody Gunter and Matt Schlosser to the gas. We're green at Phoenix. Oh, man. Matichek nearly cleaning out Baumgarten there as he drove it a little bit deeper into turn 1 than the 6. But so far, so good. Clean it through the dogleg, headed now to turn number 3 with Gunter the leader. You see lots of familiar paint schemes in wrong places. Matt Schlosser in the Steve Roman throwback in second, chasing Brody Gunter. As here are Baumgarten and Matichek now side by side. Matichek in a Lucas Carver paint scheme this evening, chasing his friend and teammate Austin Holyfield, driving the John K. Fago truck. Matichek makes the pass. So Baumgarten back to 5th, Matichek up to 4th, Holyfield. A great start for the 10. And he's really been strong these last few weeks, now running in the 3rd position early.
Go back just a little bit further. Quite a few drivers kind of stacked up here right around the top 10. Poliski, Vroman, Lockett, Palumbo, as Palumbo and Lockett are side by side.
Roman and Palumbo actually neighbors in the point standings, but Roman is 20 points clear of Palumbo. Palumbo desperately needs basically a win tonight to even have a shot to get into the postseason next week. So maybe not even racing for that. The man behind Palumbo right now is Kyle Zittel, and Zittel needs every spot that he could get. He still has a realistic shot. And Palumbo might just clear the way for Zittel now to get underneath of Lockett. Further up, Joshua Matacek through on Austin Holyfield now for the third spot. 60 truck on the move early as Gunter and Schlosser have pulled out. And Gunter leading Schlosser by a couple of truck lengths as Schlosser nearly went around there through the dogleg. I think we're seeing this snappy, loose condition showing its head early.
Yeah, I mean, this is one, I mean, especially you see Matacek is on the move early. I mean, it's really easy to overdrive the truck here at Legacy Phoenix. And if you overdrive it too early, you are really setting yourself up for a really disasterful, back half to the run. So you got to be careful with how hard you push early on here.
Lucas Carver up to the 6th position through on Andy Poliski. Poliski, though, riding in that Jeremy McKinnon, Ryan Blaney, a double-layered throwback there. Palumbo right on Froman's bumper, and he will take a shot here down low into 3. Froman able to get good rotation, though, roll in that middle, and will stay ahead of the 35 for now.
Everything's starting to get pretty single file here now. Looks like there is one side-by-side between Cole Maxwell and Joshua Rutherford, and Maxwell will go around the outside there.
Just behind them, Paul Ellison. He has been absolutely on a tear about this last month and a half. This is not quite the start I think he's been looking for to this one. I know we're only 8 laps in, but he is mired back here in 19th now with Jordan Jorno to his inside.
I mean, I think it's definitely possible. I mean, Paul is a very mindful driver, very concerned about racecraft and strategy. This could very well be the 55 saying, all right, we're going to give up a little bit here early on in this run, but we're going to let it come back to us as the laps start to tick away. So I would pay attention to that 55 as we get going further on here.
It's amazing that Ellison is even in a position to possibly transfer into the postseason. You get a drop in a provisional, and he's missed 3 races. So, I mean, he's essentially missed a whole entire race and is only 12 points below the cut line with 2 races to go. Really solid stuff this season from old 55.
Lockett and Palumbo side by side again here for the 93. Palumbo is really pushing it early here. I mean, self-proclaimed in a Discord channel today. Not very good, supposedly, here at Legacy Phoenix. He's trying to get some track position early.
So Lockett going to fall back in line right now in 10th. John Kay on the move early up to 12th. He's gained a couple of spots. He is just riding for the time being.
Oh, and Poliski!
Into the wall, the inside wall. Front end of that truck is very bent up, but we stay green.
I mean, look at how far off the ground that splitter was. I mean, that is not what you want here.
No meatball flag, but that truck is going to be just a nightmare to try and get a handle on as he has fallen back now to the 23rd position. They're making that, yes, the 23rd position with Berger going around the outside.
Feel like it might only get worse. There was some 3 wide for a brief moment between Mark Ossier, Gary Clark, and Josh Jackson. The 3 of them are in formation still. Be careful with what's going on back here towards the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Chad Stearns continuing to try and move his way forward, up 3 spots currently, looking to get a 4th here from Jack Watts.
Stearns has won here at the current iteration of Phoenix. Hard to believe Venom has never actually been to 2008 Phoenix before. This is very much a Chad Stearns kind of short track intermediate hybrid long run. 05 can really get her done here.
Yeah, he's having a hard time. He's had a couple of looks underneath of Watts and just cannot get the drive off. And now you hear him shifting into third in turn one. I am a bit surprised to see that happening this early. We knew it was on the table. Didn't know it was only going to be after 15 laps.
So comfortable lead right now for Brody Gunter, fresh off of a runner-up in the Governor's Cup at New Smyrna in a Pro 8 model. Throwing it back to his Cars Tour debut in the 24. Still scored as a 0-1. He will get a warning for that, and I don't think anybody cares.
Certainly not. Not for the throwback and not for a good-looking truck there. We'll get a look at it here in a moment as Stearns and Watts continue to battle side by side, but this has allowed Jan Van Leer to get into the picture.
JVL throwing it back to the great Michael Kroll in the Cobra 5. Michael Kroll gets a shout out before every race, whether he knows it or not. John Kay always saying good luck to Michael Kroll and Michael Dean, and Michael Kroll and Michael Dean only. Doesn't wish anybody else luck. Stearns is kind of chipping away at it here down low, but I would imagine this is probably taking a toll a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, certainly you don't want to have to battle side by side like this early on. I think he should get clear here. Oh, just for a moment, and he will be able to take it.
I think Watts over the radio said go ahead. I'm sure that wasn't doing Watts any favors either. So Stearns up to 12th, Watts back to 13th.
I mean, for Watts, I do think if you're in that situation, you probably would rather be on the outside. But, I mean, yeah, not great for either of them there to run a number of laps side by side, kind of boxed in.
Sam Baumgarten quietly running in 5th. If you remember back to the early portion of this season, man, he had great runs going and never, and I mean never, got the result. Always was caught up in some kind of mess. And hopefully a little time away has done his luck well.
Here's a look at that number 24 being scored as the 0-1.
So Gunter is throwing back himself, and all three of his teammates are also throwing back Brody Gunter tonight. A lot of Gunter going on. But he rides with a 2.5 advantage right now over Matt Schlosser. And Schlosser's lap time still second quickest on the track. Matichek, Holyfield, and Baumgarten all turning pretty equal laps here.
Joshua Rutherford slapped the wall a little bit, got a little bit tight, and I think had to really pound the throttle to get it to loosen up, and ended up running into the wall off the final corner.
Rutherford, one of 5 drivers to match or exceed their season best finish last week, which means that he got a career best in his rookie season with Venom. Last week at Monza, B12.
I guess this run is going to be all about Chad Stearns. He's the driver making the moves right now. He nearly got underneath John Kay there. For those
John
curious,
Kay also throwing back Michael Kroll. Go ahead.
We are 24 laps into this run, and the fall off is about 1.2 seconds for your leader, Brody Gunter, here.
Ahead of Stearns and Kay, Palumbo and Lockett now side by side once again. They both picked up a spot when Andy Poliski went rolling through the grass, and they're both catching up to Steve Vroman as well. So this is the battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th. Zittel and Stearns now will pass John Kay and get himself up to 11th. Be not too far behind this battle for position. Something to keep an eye on here as we continue to watch this battle. Sam Baumgarten pulling up to Austin Holyfield to challenge for 4th here momentarily. Kyle Zittel in the Nathan Reynolds throwback. Trying to find a little Reynolds in him and have a good late season run here to make it into the postseason. Tantalizingly close.
Oh, man. Hey, Hayden Palumbo was pretty loose there through the dog leg. Look at this. Chad Stearns through on K. Now takes a dive underneath of Kyle Zittel.
Been trying to work at it for the last couple of laps. Zittel finding enough on the outside to hang on to the spot.
I'll tell you what, that outside in turn 1, the longer you go, I mean, that line gets really, really tight on exit the further you go in this run. It becomes pretty difficult to run that line. But Kyle Zittel doing a great job right now. Hear how much he has to back off the throttle. I mean, he is off throttle probably 70% of the way through turn 1 there.
You see in front of them, Palumbo and Lockett again fanning out, going door to door.
Stearns not quite able to get clear, but should have a good opportunity into 1.
Really trying to push it
Oh,
deep
he
into the
overdrove it a
corner,
bit.
but overdroves and over-rotated. But Zittel also getting loose into the dog leg, and Stearns will pull back even. He'll drive it deep this time and slide it up the track. Zittel looking for a crossover, but Stearns positioned to try and fend him off here.
That was close.
So Stearns up to 10th. He is working hard, and hopefully he will not come to regret that. Lap 30 up on the board. I want to say hello to the Modachecks in the chat, as well as Don Golden. And, of course, Joshua Rutherford as well. So hello to Bailey. Hello to Robin. Hello to Don. And a nice little race this far.
Yeah, I mean, this track gets single file fairly quickly, so, I mean, there's definitely opportunity for long green flag runs here. If we happen to get a caution later, though, and, you know, everybody is really... Oh, man, that was Kyle Zittel really loose there further back. John Kay is going to take a dive to the inside here. But if we stack everybody up on a tight racetrack like this later on when the intensity is ramped up, it can become a bloodbath, I guess you could say.
Holyfield has managed to stave off Sam Baumgarten for now, keeping him at half a second. We'll see if the 6 truck can close that gap. Lockett has been able to pull away from Palumbo by a truck length, but Palumbo's still right behind as Lockett tries to start to go to work here on Steve Vroman. Vroman is catching Lucas Carver. So 6th to 11th, basically, nose to tail. As it's a 2-second lead for Brody Gunter over Matt Schlosser. Gunter threw on the 68 of Robin Young.
Both Vroman and Lockett got incredibly loose off of 1 there.
Gunter, it'll be a while before the 01 is back into some heavier lap traffic, though, so that won't play a role. Here's Palumbo to the inside of Lockett. Man, Palumbo hanging it out, and he's going to leave the door open now for Stearns to get to the inside really trying to keep him pinched down low there out of 4. See how deep Palumbo is driving it in.
Yeah, I can't imagine the truck is going to like this very much in the long term, but I mean, for the most part, has been able to hold on to some positions here, so it hasn't hurt him too bad quite yet, but there, wow, nearly got into the wall.
He'll come at Stearns here with a big run, but I mean, he was definitely not trying to go that deep or that high up the track. And that will be an easy pass for Stearns to 9th if he doesn't make a similar mistake here.
I mean, part of this could be Palumbo might just be committing to a 2-stopper. I mean, he's only got to make it a few more laps. We're eyeing about lap 41, 42, somewhere right in there for the first pit stop for the 2-stoppers here tonight. So, I mean, maybe he's just making sure he gets all the life he can out of these tires since he's coming in a few laps.
An update on Andy Polisi. He never came down pit road after that damage. He's running back in the 23rd position. Just made a pass on Tyler Bergert. But, I mean, he's got a huge gap to the 84 Jordan Jarneau in front of him for position. So, Polisi in a world of hurt. He just needed a solid run here tonight. And it has been anything but. As here's Palumbo to the inside of Lockett again and right up to the door as Stearns has made it through in the 93. Lockett hangs on, and so does Palumbo, just barely. John Kay got to be licking his chops here. He's on the Stearns strategy of just taking care of his stuff and picking them off one by one. He has been picking a lot more uniform around the track than the 35 at Palumbo up to this point.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Palumbo's almost a dirt track in this thing, all over the joint.
Stearns has a run to the inside of Roman.
I mean, Stearns is just he is a smooth operator right now. He just continues to pick him off every few laps. He is up 9 positions now from he started.
Roman in a similarly colored truck to what he normally runs, but this is a Merv Turner throwback. The subject of the Rocket Man Memorial every Daytona. And if Chad Stearns ever made a tire save and go fast for dummies book, I would be the first one to buy it. Robin Young, the first truck to fall a lap down, has just come down pit road here on lap 41, so he is either thrown in the towel or committing to a 2-stop here just to turn his fortunes around.
Yeah, I think that's the two-stop commitment more than likely. For drivers wanting to make it on one stop, they're going to have to make it over another 20 laps, and I can promise you on this set of tires, that is not something you want to do as Chad Stearns continues to move forward here. Has a look at a move on Lucas Carver.
I mean, Stearns almost got that done in one setup.
Whoa, look at this, Carver.
Yeah. Oh, man, he gets on the brakes hard there. So Stearns with minimal effort through on the 89 and up to 6th. Oh, problems. Joshua Rutherford is around in the dog leg. We'll save it. And we'll bring it back onto the track at about 80 miles an hour, so we should stay green. But he will fall back down to the 25th position.
Look at this. Baumgarten, Holyfield, battling it out here.
That gap was at about half a second. It got back out to over a second, and Baumgarten has pretty quickly caught back up to this 10 truck. Can't say enough about Austin Holyfield of late. Really, this entire season, he has got something figured out. This is a great run that he's having already. Even if Baumgarten gets through him here, which it looks like he might.
Yeah, Baumgarten is rolling right now. That's a big send there, but still able to keep it down towards the bottom of the racetrack.
For the back of the top 10, John Kay just made a pass on Hayden Palumbo, and Vroman and Lockett are now side by side for 8th.
Look at this. Palumbo with the comeback move. Sends it up the inside. Man, look at how loose John Kay is there on exit. John Kay looks like he's starting to come back to life here. Maybe was just saving a bit through the middle of the run.
Palumbo back down deep into turn 1. Okay, a little wiggle there on the power. Palumbo going to pull back even.
And now Steve Froman takes a look to the inside of Carver.
Palumbo with a cross and a slide, and he will take the spot back, so move the 35 back to 10th. Okay, Carver, Vroman all in close proximity.
Oh, Carver started drifting up the racetrack just a bit. Still able to keep it down. Turn one
that is tight.
Turn 1 is so tricky because if you get it wrong, you lose a lot of speed as Palumbo dives it to the inside, nearly made contact with Vroman, and now Lockett has found his way to the outside of Carver.
Wow. Palumbo all of a sudden roaring back to life as the sun peeks out over the clouds at Phoenix. Move Lockett to 7th. Palumbo now fading on the bottom. Vroman getting back to the outside of the 35.
How the hell have we not had this racetrack on the schedule before? I mean, come
That's
on.
a great question. I was just wondering that. This has been fantastic. We've just missed Chad Stearns getting through on Austin Holyfield, I believe, for 5th. So Holyfield is back to 6th.
Yeah, Holyfield's starting to lose some ground fairly swiftly here. I think has used up the tires.
So nobody's come down pit road other than Robin Young, and Young, I think, is out of the race. So it looks like everybody is going to go for the one stop here. Unless they're coming in late now and really shortening up that final run.
I don't think so. I mean, unless you're really, really hurting right now, I mean, you're pretty much committed to this one stopper.
Some of these drivers are hurting.
Yeah, and I would venture to say so. Look at this. Chad Stearns is one driver definitely not hurting in the slightest. Oh, not quite able to get clear of Bob Garden, but has the inside positioning here. This would be 12 spots gained in the first run here for Stearns. A little bit wiggly there off the bottom.
Problem for Corey Rutherford. He is very slow on the track. Surprised that didn't trigger a caution. He went around in the dog leg, but we are still green. Mark Ossier's just come down pit road. He's running towards the back.
Do you have to remember at these legacy tracks, the AI thrown cautions may be a little bit different than they are on the newer racetracks.
Yeah, nobody touched the wall like they do at some short tracks to bring out a caution.
Man, Stearns almost gets clear off of turn 4 just about every time. And now will be clear. Stearns
Paul
to P4.
Ellison coming down pit road.
Yeah, Ellison looked like
running
he was...
running in the 16th position.
Yeah, he was struggling there.
Hayden Palumbo threw on Lucas Carver. I mean, shame on me, I guess, for starting to count Palumbo out and thinking he was abusing these tires. He has definitely got something. Joshua Rutherford is in. So is Corey. Gary Clark says he's pitting this time. So pit stops here on lap 55.
Boy, this is, I mean, a little bit late. I mean, yeah, to me, these are just drivers that thought they can make it and realized that they really burned it up too early. So kind of putting themselves at a bit of a disadvantage here on the strategy.
Two drivers we have to mention, they're flying under the radar right now, but Josh Freed and Garrett Rainey, they are the two drivers on either side of the cut line directly. And they had just had a battle for position. Josh Freed coming out with the 15th spot. Garrett Rainey back to 16th.
Yeah, I mean, both of these drivers also need to be careful about...
Lucas Carver in the dogleg into the inside wall hard, and we'll just keep it off the racing surface. We might stay green. But Carver running in ninth around in the dogleg and into the inside wall quite hard. That's the fourth issue we've seen in the dogleg, but he's the first one to come to a complete stop.
And Carver will make his way to pit road. We have a few incidents to look at here, as lots of pit stops here.
Yeah, Jackson coming in. Eric Breeding is in. Of course, Lucas Carver with that incident. Now will be the first driver running inside the top 10. Although he fell all the way down to, I believe, 22nd by the time he actually made it to pit road. That's the season as a whole for Carver. It's been nothing but wretched luck.
So let's take a look quickly here at a couple of these incidents throughout this opening stint. This is Andy Poliski trying to put the power down off of turn one and just spins it. Actually, oh man, he tried to make the save and then overcorrected back to the left to make that contact with the inside wall. This is the Joshua Rutherford off track. Man, a big slide there. And now let's take a look at Lucas Carver. You're going to notice all three of these happen in the exact same place and look just about the same. And Carver hard into the wall, just not able to corral it. I mean, that inside wall is close to the racetrack. There's not much room to chase it down there.
So nothing has changed. No pit stops through the replay cycle.
Yeah, they should be coming soon, though.
We are getting close to the halfway mark. 64 laps to go, 61 complete.
See the advantage that Gary Clark has here. Came down a few laps ago. Able to just dive right underneath of Lockett. Look at how much more speed he can carry through the middle of the corner there.
Jan Van Leer is in from 13th.
I like that from Jan Van Leer. Might be able to pick up a little bit of track position coming in one lap early.
Brady Gunter's lost some time to Matt Schlosser because he is not only in some lap traffic, he's also in some fresh tire traffic as well. So really the worst of both worlds. And Schlosser's been able to put half a second on him in the last few laps. Garrett Rainey coming in from 15th.
Oh, man. Gunter nearly made contact.
Here comes Matt Schlosser from second. Taking advantage of that time gain over the last couple laps to try and snipe the undercut here. Jack Watts also in and nearly around.
Great battle here between Holyfield, Lockett, and Palumbo. Matichek says he's coming in.
Having called out Matichek's name much since he got through on Holyfield.
Clean pit stop there for the 60.
Look at this gaggle.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm one of these drivers right now, I'm coming in to get out of the nest here.
Brody Gunter says he's pitting this time as Holyfield is headed to the caboose. I would imagine he'll pull the ripcord here in a moment. Gunter is in. Journeau is in. Stern's coming in.
Here comes Baumgarten. Lockett is staying out. No, Lockett comes in. Apologies. Holyfield Zittel.
This is a lot of drivers. Palumbo, Kay, and Vroman are still out on the track. Josh Freed is still out on the track. Andy Ducato is still out on the track. Pretty much everybody else has been down pit road other than Andy Poliski.
And look at this. Matt Schlosser has leapfrogged Brody Gunter.
Wow.
By a pretty good margin.
I mean, that gap was 1.5 seconds in favor of Gunter. And 2 laps after Schlosser pits, Gunter comes down, and the gap is 1.5 seconds the other direction.
3-second gain there. And I mean, part of that is because of the traffic that Gunter found himself in, but also just a great pit stop there from the 04. Andy Ducato.
Poliski for position as both of the Andys will be down pit road this time. Oh no, Poliski faked me out. I would have been down pit road already. So kudos to Poliski for surviving.
Yeah, it might be Poliski trying to see if he can catch a caution somewhere, get some of that damage fixed, and not go a lap down, but he's going to have to come in sooner than later here.
I think if we do get a caution, it's been pretty clean for the most part up to this point. I think the switch is going to flip if we happen to get a caution.
Oh,
we've seen.
Wow, that was close. Joshua Rutherford had to make a massive save. That was just about it.
John Kay had to track it all the way up to the wall as well on old tires. So you're nearly fenced it.
Here's Matichek, and you see Poliski hits the wall on the old rubber, but still staying out. Take a look back at Garrett Rainey trying to race his way into the chase. Currently sits in 16th.
He's got a long way up the road to Jack Watts, but he's through on both of the Rutherfords.
What's
still waiting on pit stops from our top 4. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just kind of mentioned what I was going to mention is the good thing, well, interesting thing more so for Rainey is his counterpart in this the battle to make the chase, Josh Freed, still out on the racetrack right now. Or, I mean, hasn't come in for a pit stop, I should say.
It's not impossible that either of these two could find themselves in a better position if something were to happen to Andy Ducato, as Josh Freedy's coming in right now. So Freed will give it up. As Palumbo, Kay, and Vroman then are the last 3. Classic Steve Vroman.
Haven't gotten to see this in quite some time.
No. We've been having nothing but Vroman races on Wednesday nights. It's good to get one on a Tuesday night.
For sure. So let's see where Freed comes out in relation to Rainey here. You see Rainey just went by. Freed continuing to drop through the order here. Now could finally get onto the throttle. Freed's going to come out around 21st or so.
John K is in.
So I mean, it's a solid 7 seconds or so up to up to Rainey for Freed, but on the fresh rubber should be able to make up some time pretty quickly here.
I think worth pointing out as well, Freed exits behind Schlosser and Gunter, as Hayden Palumbo will come in from the lead. That will give the top spot now to Steve Roman. But Freed on 7-lap fresher tires than Gunter, 9-lap fresher tires than Schlosser, so should be able to catch them. But we'll be trapped a lap down at the moment, if the caution were to come out. Which, if you are just joining us, it has not done yet. We've come close. We've had 4 incidents, all in the dogleg, none of which have triggered a caution. John Kay unlapping himself from Steve Roman. Roman's been out on this track 76 laps, and he says, that's enough. I'm coming in.
Good battle here between Jan Van Leer and Sam Baumgarten.
Oh,
caution is out.
Andy Poliski slow in the dogleg once again. Actually slow in turn number 1 into the fence. Just as Roman came down pit road.
Be interesting to see if Roman made it down in time. Actually, I think he ended up having to stay out. I think he had to pull off of his commitment to pit road. I mean, Steve Roman is going to come out well on top of this strategy play here.
I mean, he was already doing a good job. He was running inside the top 10. Now will come in third after an aborted pit stop. And as you can imagine, everybody is coming in. Except for Hayden Palumbo, who was just down pit road. John Kay also going to stay out.
Yeah, I mean, Hayden and John were down on laps 74 and 75. So they'd run 2 or 3 laps maybe under green. I mean, it won't be perfect, but they're going to get a lot of track position out of the call. Let's take a look at the incident for Poliski here. Remember, Poliski with quite a bit of damage here as well. Enters near the top. Oh, and just gets left reared by the 8. Take one more look. Go inside the driver's seat with the 8. Yeah, I mean, completely blew the corner there.
Well, a whole bunch of drivers just had to take the wave around. I think up to Corey Rutherford in 14th. Or rather, Corey Rutherford on back. Just had to take the wave around. So they're still on old tires. Jack Watson up 13th to 1st on fresh tires, safe for Palumbo and Cade, who have about 4 green flag laps on their tires. 45 laps to go. Palumbo now in control.
Remember what we just said earlier, Tommy. If we re-rack these guys, it could get ugly.
And it might. Gunter now in a hole, trying to get through Kay and Roman as they're double wide in front of him. Or that's not Roman, that's Matt Schlosser. I knew I was going to do that at some point.
Kay working on the outside of Gunter. Gunter dives it underneath with Schlosser in front. Josh Maticek. Jan Van Leer has come out pretty darn good on this strategy also.
Yeah, it was, oh man, as Gunter onto the left rear quarter panel and Kay overdrives it there. As Schlosser's going to go to work here on Palumbo for the lead. But your point on JVL there, yeah, he was running in 15th before the green flag pit cycle. He's come out massively ahead. I
can only imagine John Kay's what's going through his head, or maybe lack thereof. It might be all hot lava in the head of the two right now.
Oh, 3 wide. Maticek in the middle of JVL and Stearns. Stearns down low. And Maticek through the middle, going to pull out ahead. These drivers are getting after it a little bit more.
Oh, for sure. Quite a bit of single file straight out front. We go back from there, not so much. Vroman's been all over the racetrack from the top to the bottom multiple times. Lockett trying to get his track position back here that he lost in the strategy. Oh, and Vroman in the wall. Caution is out.
Tyler Berger is around. And that's going to be a lucky break for a couple of these drivers. Not sure what happened to Paul Ellison, but Ellison is 17 laps down. I must have just had to pull off for a little while. That is going to kill his chances in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope that it's not a hardware issue. I know that he's had those a little bit more previously. And, I mean, the truck looks clean. And you'd hope that's not what it is. But, yeah, unfortunately for...
Go ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately for Paul, I mean, this could really kill his chances here.
He's going to be hard-pressed to make up any positions. Andy Poliski, of course, on pit road after the last caution. But Ellison gets a little piece of this one. Tyler Berger around in turn number 2 to put us under our second caution.
Looks like this is the 17 of Ossier on the inside of Berger. Down into the first turn. And... yeah, just a slight bit of contact. Nothing too egregious, but I think Berger certainly expected Ossier to be more down on that yellow line. And, I mean, he's trying to save it, and then finally it goes around. And you'll see coming through the frame here, Ellison and Carver had gotten together. Not a lot of damage, but a little bit is a lot at a racetrack like this.
Couple of interesting developments here. Of course, all the wave-around drivers from the last caution have come in. So that leaves the top 14 out on the track, but Joshua Maticek and John Kay both in. Kay, not as much of a surprise. He stayed out on old tires to begin with. Maticek, though, came in under the last caution.
Yeah, I mean, for Maticek, that would be his third set of tires, so that there's no more tires left for the 60. The difference for John Kay is that's only John Kay's second time down pit road.
Yep.
So Kay still with the set of tires left here. And should have roughly an 8-lap advantage over most of the drivers out on the racetrack in front of him.
So Hayden Palumbo and Steve Roman also with an extra set of tires compared to everybody else. Maticek out of tires. And we'll see what we got here coming to a restart with 37 laps to go. Palumbo leading. Schlosser now to the outside. Gunter and Stearns have been quite the dynamic duo. Gunter going to have to get his elbows out. Stearns has never really put his elbows away. And have not been holstered very much tonight. We'll see what the 05's got here from the outside of row 2. Jan van Leer and Steve Roman on row number 3. As we are in the closing stretch of this one, Gunter gave a shot to Palumbo before they even got the green. Schlosser quickly down low to cover off Gunter, and it opens the top up for Stearns.
Caution is out again.
Mark Ossier backwards through the dogleg. Boy, did we call that one.
Yes,
no
we did.
cautions for 75 laps, and then 3 in the last 15. Tyler Berger coming back down pit road. What if those two got together again? Let's find out.
Well, they're going to end up almost getting 3 wide here with Clark. And yeah, they definitely got together again. Berger had a big run on Clark, but had to back out of it and was to the outside of Ossier. And looked to me like Ossier came up the racetrack and kind of turned himself off the 44 here. So, we haven't shown the car inside camera for Kyle Zittel yet today. So we're going to take a look at it as he's doing some race control-esque activities. Also having a good race here, sitting at 9th currently.
Jeremy McKinnon suggesting that we just blame Tyler Berger. That tells me Tyler's not going to be on board with that. Quickly, want to remind everybody we're racing about Panorama tomorrow night with the Daredevil Series. And, oh boy.
Yes, oh boy is correct. You and I put some practice in there earlier last week. It was a blast, but boy, it was difficult.
Bring your parka, that's all I'll say.
Ooh.
Back racing with 33 to go. Palumbo and Schlosser. Schlosser does not fire. Stearns is going to have a good look here for second. Oh, Stearns gets loose, though. Schlosser going to be able to get on his horse to the outside. Outside is not getting great drive out of 2. Just enough for them to stay even.
I mean, on fresher tires, the bottom, you can just stick it to the bottom. I mean, once you get a few laps, 10 laps into the run, then that outside really starts coming in a little bit more as Stearns plants it in front of Schlosser. Schlosser has to make a massive save, but loses a ton of track position here.
It's going to cost Gunter 5 spots. It's going to cost Schlosser at least 1, maybe 3. Jan van Leer coming with a big run on the outside. Lockett, the door's open for him.
That was... what a heads-up move by both Schlosser and Gunter to not get into each other, be able to corral it and continue on, but has certainly lost out on a good opportunity. They're going to have to claw their way back to the front.
And it focused
Oh,
forwards.
we got a big one in the back.
John Kay, Steve Roman, Kyle Zittel got a piece of that as well, as the caution is out for the 4th time. Paul Ellison also, I don't think was involved, just coming to a stop. But that is a big problem for John Kay, who has quite a bit of damage to his Michael Crawl throwback.
Yeah, that's big damage for the two there. So let's take a look. I'm assuming might be some pit stops coming here as well, but let's take a look here. Trying to figure out where this starts. It looked like it might be Vroman and Zittel that get together. Yeah, Vroman just sends it pretty hot into that corner, gets Zittel up into the wall, and then there's nowhere for John or Jordan to go. Garrett Rainey gets into that as well. And Corey Rutherford maybe made a little contact there, but nothing too egregious. I mean, the worst of it is certainly Vroman and Kay. So all of that track position that Vroman gained on the strategy call to begin with ends up all being for naught after that one.
Well, the involved drivers, of course, down pit road, Rainey, Zittel, Vroman, and Kay. Eric Breeding and Gary Clark also coming down to take a set of tires as well. A couple of pump fakes up front, but nobody coming in.
I am a bit surprised nobody took the bait there. Especially, I mean, I guess if you're Hayden, if anybody was going to do it, it would have been Hayden because he has 2 sets of tires left. But since he's out front, there's no reason to give it up.
I feel like with 27 left, this would have been the restart. Hayden would have had to have come in to try and make a run back through the field. At this point, he's made his bed, hoping for a late race caution that's going to drag everybody down pit road. Palumbo good at the short tracks. This is not quite, it's an intermediate short track. But his abilities are on full display this evening as he is back to the restart zone. We're back underway. Stern's good enough to get in line here. Jan and Schlosser now going to be side by side, and now they're going to be maybe 3 wide as Stern's really backed it up.
That incident really gave Schlosser a kind of a new look at this race. There for a minute, if that went green from there on out, it looked like he was probably going to be out of the opportunity for a win.
Brody Gunter and Matt Schlosser are hoping to be able to power back up through the front of this field. Aiden Palumbo out to a 0.4 of a second lead, but Stearns is on the prowl. He's already closed up to a truck length and still gaining. Gunter, meanwhile, to the outside of Schlosser for 4th. As we say hello to Lisa Kelly, Tyler Burgert is back out on the track.
Gunter, a little brush to the wall there, battling with Schlosser side by side. Palumbo way up the racetrack. Chad Stearns is going to have a run.
Stearns looking for his third points-paying victory of the season. Palumbo looking for his second. Manley are also riding in third, looking for his second as well.
Oh, Schlosser nearly got up into Gunter there.
Gunter going to have to take the long way around, and it might work out for him here if he can get onto the gas. Out of 2. He's got it. One driver this race fell into the lap of is Josh Freed. He's into the top 10, but he is scrapping hard with Joshua Rutherford, who has fresher tires. Garrett Rainey behind them, also on fresher tires. That's the battle for the bubble.
Boy, Watts a little bit out of shape, caused Corey Rutherford to get out of shape as well. Corey on his way through.
Joshua makes the pass on Josh Freed. Garrett Rainey going to make a pass on Josh Freed now as well. Freed back to 12th.
Gunter and Jan Van Leer now side by side for third.
Stearns continuing to have peaks here on Palumbo, but Gunter in third. I think it's go time for Stearns. He needs to get away from the 24. 20 laps to go.
I'm sure Chad is confident in his later run abilities. Look at this, a little bump and run here.
Give him a bump to open up the bottom. 05 once through the 35. Palumbo hanging on, fighting for a win, fighting for an outside chance to make the postseason.
He's making Chad work for it, and it's allowing Gunter to close in a bit.
Stearns' big run here through the dog leg. They go even through 3 and 4. Stearns will have the opportunity to clear, and he pulls the trigger. He's clear by inches. Palumbo answers with a crossover. Stearns is loose. Palumbo is loose. Even footing into 3. Palumbo going to drive it deep. Stearns rolls it around the top side.
Whoa.
All this is doing is wearing each other down. Gunter, 0.4 of a second behind. Jan Van Leer and Matt Schlosser going to do battle for 4th behind these 3. Stearns clear. Schlosser is through to 4th. Stearns through to the lead. And he cements Palumbo between himself and Brody Gunter, and that might be the deciding factor in this race. With 16 laps to go. No Rodney Matney in the field here tonight, but Sickers or Queen is still cheering on the field. And it's been a good race. Oh, problems. Josh Freed is up into the wall in 3 and 4 and pulls it right back down in front of Andy Ducato.
Oh, Freed in jeopardy, right up against the wall. And it's a problem for him because Garrett Rainey is out in front of him, and now he's losing some positions.
Rainey just getting that gap bigger.
I mean, Freed's going to end up losing 3 spots out of the deal.
I mean, if Randy can make up enough points, he'll be able to put Andy Ducato on the bubble and give himself a little separation. Up front, Zach Loskett just made a pass on Jan Van Leer, but he nailed the wall out of turn number 2, and Jan is going to get back underneath of him and try and challenge for 5th to get this spot back.
Here comes Holyfield and Baumgarten as well.
It has not been a good night for Ellison or Zittel, but it's been a good night for Austin Holyfield.
Palumbo and Gunter. Gunter gets through.
Just like that. Palumbo not done. But these older tires are starting to fade just a little bit, I think.
Oh, look at that big send there from the 35. Crossover on the way from Gunter.
I mean, Palumbo was muscling this truck earlier, and that is right what he is back to doing.
At this point, 12 laps to go. You got to do whatever you can to hang on to that track position here. Oh, and Schlosser nearly spun it.
1.3 seconds up to Chad Stearns as Gunter is back to second, but not clear of Palumbo yet. "11 laps to go." Oh, man, Schlosser and Palumbo tight quarters into 1. And tight quarters out of 2 as well. They make contact. Nothing to worry about for Schlosser and Gunter in terms of the postseason. They are through. But they were in control of this race, and they have lost that control to Chad Stearns. They've got 10 laps to try and get it back.
Whew, man, everybody right up next to the wall out of 2.
Sam Baumgarten working over Jan Van Leer. They've got Austin Holyfield and Joshua Maticek behind them. Maticek, remember, pit for fresher tires earlier. So did Garrett Rainey. These two should have no problem getting through on Holyfield. Joshua Rutherford as well.
Maticek able to make the move around the outside.
Oh, problem. Truck through the grass. It's Eric Breeding. Brings it back onto the track at a high enough clip that we're going to stay green. Now we'll drop EB down to 17th.
Baumgarten is getting big runs on Jan Van Leer, but just can't do anything with them. Coming up to 7 laps to go. There is not much time left here to make a move.
And not much time left for Gunter to find anything on Chad Stearns. Stearns has pulled away 1.7 seconds. Gunter well clear of Schlosser now. Baumgarten under fire. Maticek on the fresher tires. Going to go to work here to the inside of the 6th truck. They make contact. Oh, more contacts.
Yeah. They are leaning on each other here.
Yes, they are.
Whoa.
Good defensive stand here for Baumgarten, trying to match a season best finish of 7th all the way back at Daytona. Maybe the only race he's finished this season, honestly. I mean, it's been that rough for this 6 truck whenever he's been out on track.
Look at this, Holyfield looking for an opportunity. Rainey, Rutherford, everybody's getting stacked up here.
I mean, it's Baumgarten and Holyfield versus everybody else. All the rest of these drivers are on fresher tires. Both of the Rutherfords and Garrett Rainey and Joshua Maticek, all with fresh rubber in this picture. 4 to go. Gunter's starting to eat into this gap, but not nearly quick enough. 3 to go. Garrett Rainey just threw a block on Joshua Rutherford, who was going to the outside.
Rainey might have burned him up here.
He might get a double Rutherford passing here.
Only good thing for Rainey is
go.
only good thing for Rainey is Freed has dropped all the way to 19th here.
It'll still be good points here for the 13 if he can keep it clean for another lap and a half. Stearns just wants to see the white. One to go. Two wins on the season, plus the All-Star race at Slinger. And we'll make it 3 to the checkers. Chad Stearns wins it at 2008 Phoenix. Brody Gunter, Matt Schlosser round out the podium. Problems down the backstretch for Joshua Rutherford will drop him from 10th down to 15th. Or rather, down to 14th. That's more points in the bucket for Garrett Rainey and for Andy Ducato. Joshua Maticek also dropping down to 11th there late. So maybe an issue for those two specifically. He's won at New Phoenix, and now he's won at Old Phoenix. To the Wayback Machine we go. Stearns with his 12th career Venom Truck Series victory.
I mean, what a great job by Chad Stearns to take the lead and keep it here towards the end of the race. But, I mean, really, the heavy lifting was done for Chad in the first 50 laps of this one. I mean, he made up a bunch of positions there in the later half of that first run.
Yeah, started 16th, and we saw him working hard early. It was really him and Hayden Palumbo that were just punishing their trucks. How fitting they both come away with top 5 finishes after hard-fought races. Stearns with the 3rd win of the season. This will be his 2nd full-time run with the Venom Truck Series. The season sort of fell apart at the end in Season 9. Stearns is just getting started here in Season number 10, and look out. Let's get a full finishing rundown here from Phoenix 2008. Chad Stearns with his 3rd win of the season. Brody Gunter in 2nd. Matt Schlosser in 3rd. Both of those drivers led laps here tonight. They will come up a little bit short. We'll talk to all 3 of them here in just a moment. Hayden Palumbo, hard-fought P4 on old tires. Zach Lockett in the top 5 for the 2nd week in a row, quietly finding his footing before the postseason. Jan Van Leer will finish in 6th. Same to him. It's been a great couple weeks for the 5 truck. Sam Baumgarten, career best matching finish here tonight with a 7th. It is Austin Holyfield continuing his top 10 stretch in 8th. Corey Rutherford back into the top 10 here this evening. Will finish in the 9th spot. Garrett Rainey will finish in 10th. Last lap problems for Joshua Maticek will move him back to the 11th. Jack Watson 12th. Andy Ducato in 13th. And more problems for Joshua Rutherford as well. Will finish in the 14th position. Lucas Carver will finish in 15th after being involved in a couple of accidents tonight. Kyle Zittel in 16th. Cole Maxwell in 17th. Eric Breeding in 18th. Josh Freed. You mentioned it earlier. Rough night for him, all things considered at the end of it. And John Kay as well. That night did not go very well for the 2 truck. He'll finish back in 20th. Gary Clark in 21st and Steve Roman in 22nd. Last driver in the lead lap is Jordan Journeau in 23rd. Mark Ossier will finish 1 down in 24th. Tyler Burgert will finish the race 9 down in 25th. Same for Paul Ellison, 17 down in 26th. Andy Poliski was running at the end, 21 down in 27th. But DNFs for Josh Jackson and for Robin Young. So we'll go to the well now. Drag up your podium finishers, and the Society will kick things off here tonight. Third place finish for Matt Schlosser, who I only called Steve Roman one time tonight. But a good-looking truck and a good result as well. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. I'll take a P3. A little bummed I didn't get to race Brody for the win. I was hoping it would stay green and we would have a little battle there, but we had some cautions and restarts and action, and fortunately I was able to get back to third after dropping back a bit, so it ended up being a solid result.
And I mean, what got you crossed up there? It looked like, a bump up to Stearns, then maybe a bump from Gunter. I mean, great. If there was any other drivers other than you three, that could have wiped out the whole field. But, I mean, all things considered, that was a great save, but it did really set you back.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was kind of my fault, I think. I entered on the outside of Chad, and then it was just an awkward entry. I didn't really, the restart didn't go as I planned, and I was kind of like improvising, and then I tried to kind of like cross back under Chad, but I had to lift, and Brody was already throttling up, so I did not mean to just park it in front of Brody, so I feel bad that he lost a few spots in that as well. But it was just a tight entry to turn one, and I probably should have just hung on the outside instead of trying to be creative, so it's probably my fault, but luckily we didn't all crash and we're able to keep going there.
Matt, what you got for Matt?
Yeah, congrats on a good finish here tonight. It was really a tale of kind of two halves. It was that first one was a little bit longer than half of the race, but we go caution free up to lap, I don't know, it was about 76 or so. When you're restarting with about 50 to go, it's a tight racetrack. Everybody's going to be pretty aggressive from that point on out. Does your mindset change at all from that first run? Do you have to approach your driving style a little bit differently going into that second half?
Yeah, you kind of get in such a rhythm that the last thing you're thinking about is a restart. I feel like when a race goes green for that long, you just kind of like settle into it. You kind of stop thinking about the potential for cautions, even though you deep down they could happen. You just start to kind of like sink into it being a green flag race, and then you do get a caution. You just kind of have to change your approach and get ready for restart mode. And everybody's on equal tires, and I went from having to defend Brody and pick through lap traffic to then having a race against several other guys, and Hayden was obviously out front, and John Kay was up there, so it was totally changed things for sure, as you mentioned. And yeah, it's hard to adapt to that sometimes. Sometimes you're just so in a rhythm that you kind of like, it takes a little bit of time to like switch over to the new scenario you're in. So it's tough for sure.
7th podium on the season. Congrats. Let's get some shout outs in once again.
Yeah. Shout out to Venom and everybody who runs the league. Shout out to Turn 200. Congrats to Chad Stearns for the win. And shout out to Team 939. Congrats to Zach for the top 5. Looks like Josh Breed had a relatively decent night. Hopefully he's still hanging well in the points to get into the chase. Great racing with everybody. Especially with Brody there, we had a really good battle. And again, hate that we made contact. I feel like it was on me there, but that's basically it.
Alrighty, partner. Thanks for the time as always, and we'll hope to talk to you again in Indy.
Yeah. Oh, Dirt 200 special. Watch it and/or race in it.
Great field last week. Great race as well, definitely. And I guess we could talk to you tonight or tomorrow as well at Mount Panorama. So lots of opportunities to talk before next Tuesday. But thanks for the time.
I'll try not to die rolling down the side of the mountain.
I mean, it's a rite of passage.
All right. All right. Thank you.
There will be lots of death tomorrow. It won't just be Matt Schlosser. Let's talk to another driver that has an opportunity to perish tomorrow evening if he so graces us with his presence once again. Didn't perish tonight, though. Freddie Gunter will come on with a runner-up spot. I know it's not what you were looking for, but I mean, considering the deck was sort of the deck was sort of stacked against you there towards the end, and I mean, rallying for a second place finish, I think is pretty good.
Yes, I mean it's I would say considering the first half of the race how it went, it's not exactly the finish I was hoping for. But I mean considering how I've done last weekend, I guess I'm just trying to continue the trend of finishing second in the late model inspired paints. So I would definitely take it. I mean, it was a very aggravating and annoying race to run. I mean, the track sucks. The truck sucked here. It wasn't being. I mean, I'm just gonna go and say it was not a fun experience. Definitely not my favorite track in the schedule, and was not the one I was looking forward to going into it, and had no confidence going into it because I just did not feel like I had any speed. So to qualify and pole and then lead the first half, win the stage, I will definitely take it. But I wish I could have done just a little bit better to get that throwback paint scheme up on the top step of the podium, especially when we had 4 Brody Gunner trucks out there and none of us could get the win.
I'm sure this second place probably pays a little bit less than the one that you had last weekend. That's just a guess, though.
Yeah, about 1,500 less.
Well, I'll put your people in touch with my people and see if we can bump the purse up for next time. But Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a good run still. I wanted to ask you about actually the pit stop before the caution had come out. Looked like Matt Schlosser had net gained about, I don't know, maybe 3.5 seconds on you there. I mean, part of that was, he got down a lap or two earlier than you, but was there something in your pit stop where you just kind of taking it easy? Did something happen?
I feel like I was pretty good getting down. I feel like that was the reasonable gap that makes sense. I mean, like you lose actually like 2 seconds a lap at that point on the tires. So for them to come out that felt like about reasonably within that range. Since I went just 2 laps farther, I think I went just 2 laps farther. Cause my hope was that I'd have newer tires and then chase him down and still have to drive him away. And it was working until right when I caught his bumper. The yellow came out, so got unlucky with that again. With the precaution not playing in my favor, and then felt like every single restart did not go my way to where I fell back to 6th, and then I think Tommy said it felt like a really good run to get back from 6th to 2nd. Just sadly by that point, Chad had created a big enough lead where even though I was chipping away like a couple hundredths a lap, it just wasn't. I was not going to get there in time, especially on the tires I had killed to pass 2 people on the outside. I think in one. No, I think it was like 3 on the outside and 2 on, and then 1 on the inside. So, but overall, I feel like I did the best I could, and that's all I can really ask myself. Just sadly, things didn't go completely my way.
Well, it's still went pretty well. You already know that you're driving to the postseason with us as long as you'll be around anyway. I know your schedule probably is going to get pretty busy here pretty quickly, I would imagine, with 2026 coming up.
But yeah, 2026, I don't know yet. Both racing, actually, the main thing might be sometimes college. I mean, the only thing that might stop me the rest of this year from racing this league would be college classes. But 2026, I have no idea what that holds with me on both the college and racing side. But I always try to make it to as many as I can. This is the first time I think I've made it to every race so far, and I don't think I've missed one yet.
I don't think so.
It's been awesome. It's been awesome racing all of them. Been going pretty good. I feel like it's been a somewhat average season. Funny enough, I know 3 wins, but looking at my last couple of seasons, it's like it was either very dominant or terrible. So I feel like this one's been a very average. I've been consistently in the top 5 every time, and I've been very happy with that because it's been awesome to race in the top 5 consistently in this league.
Definitely so. 6th podium of the season. Congrats. Let's get some shout outs in.
Yes, CGI Graphics, Mummies Productions, Sobe on Twitch, it's Sam's channel. But yeah, Sobe, Sam's Twitch channel, everyone at Venom and the league for showing up tonight, and the admins are putting on this event, as well as you guys for at Turn 200 for broadcasting this.
Absolutely. Thank you for the time, and we'll hope to talk to you maybe tomorrow at Mount Panorama if anybody survives. But we'll hope to talk to you to Indianapolis as well.
Oh, and before I leave, I don't want to forget a second time. Happy birthday to my happy late birthday to my sister. I promised her at Stu New Simona if I got interviewed, I would tell her happy birthday on the interview because her birthday was the next day. I then forgot on the interview. I promised her that I would post on Facebook and tell her I'd tell on iRacing. So happy late birthday to her. I'm not gonna forget a third time.
There you go. Yep. Just put it up on Facebook. I think that the reach is a little bit less here, but the sentiment's there. So,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Thanks for the time. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, let's talk to your race winner. Jed Stearns is up here for the third time in a points-paying race, fourth time overall with the All-Star race in there. But we were talking about this kind of being a Chad Stearns sort of track, Chad Stearns sort of night. And man, you had to earn this one from way deep in the field. I mean, you were getting after it early.
Yeah, definitely did, man. I did a good job of screwing up qualifying. So I think I started like 16th or something. But yeah, I wasn't panicked or anything like that. I knew if it went green, I could do pretty well on the tire saving, and just kept it patient and was able to kind of work my way up.
I mean, it's certainly you have to have patience. There were some drivers, though, that were driving it relatively hard. I think yourself included. You could be patient and still be kind of aggressive. But, I mean, how did you keep the tires underneath of you for so long? Because no matter how hard you were pushing it or making moves in different lines, you still had the pace all the way through the run, it seemed.
Absolutely right. You can definitely be patient and aggressive at the same time. For me, the key is just literally drive it as hard as I can without sliding the tires. And that tends to save enough, I guess. And it seemed like I was able to do that. So yeah, that was pretty much the strategy. Not push the issue too much, and it worked out.
Matt, what you got for the race winner?
Yeah, congrats on the race win. He makes it sound so easy. Just push it as hard as you can without sliding the tires. But
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
right.
you go from that, and then to the back half of the race. I mean, is caution filled. You got a bunch of restarts in there. You know, you battled with Hayden Palumbo both in the front half of the race and in the back half. I mean, what was it like? Trying to do some shorter runs and maybe having to get a little bit more aggressive than you were in the first half of the race.
Well, personally, I don't like it. I don't necessarily like my chances in those situations. I'd rather it be long run for sure. But I felt, by the end of the race, I kind of felt like I had what it took to win. So yeah, again, I tried to be as patient as possible, but when all them cautions started coming out, and it started getting to the end there, I kind of had to press the issue a little bit. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, so kind of like I did on Schlosser, I knew on that restart there I had a chance to pass him, and I just had to throw it in there and let it slide up. So I hate that he got loose or spun or whatever it was, but yeah, I had to get it done quick there.
And you certainly got it done here tonight, and making an assumption anyway that we're getting you for the rest of the season. Last season, we got you for the full season for the first time. It started pretty hot, and it didn't get cold, but it wasn't good enough to win the championship. But it seems like you've started hot this season, and you've stayed pretty hot as well, and you're really finding your footing again right before the chase comes around.
Call it what it was last season. That was a dud. Yeah, I mean, I was not happy with the way that I finished that one out. So, yeah, this season here, I'm just kind of focusing on consistency. Yeah, and just trying to put it all together. Hopefully it works out.
it certainly is working out pretty well, I would say. 6th podium of the season, 3rd win. Congrats. Let's get some shout-outs in once again before we let you go.
Just like to give a shout out to 939 Motorsports, Zach and Josh. Also, you guys for doing the broadcast, and as always, Venom Truck Series. Appreciate it.
All right, partner. Thanks. Go party hard. We'll hope to talk to you again next week in Indianapolis.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
The old home track for our Hoosier friend in the 05. Throwing it back to himself here tonight. And throwing it back to victory lane for the 3rd time this season. Man, Stearns is, he's like I just said, he's not been cold at any point this season, but he's getting hot again right now. And that is bad news for everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of said it there, his thing is about being more consistent. I mean, there were definitely some times in the last season that, if it wasn't a Chad Stearns win, he could be well outside the top 10, and has definitely been more consistent this season. And, especially in a chase format, you gotta, your bad races, you can't let them be too poor. So that consistency is going to go a long ways here for the 05. Really, really excited to see what he's got into the postseason, but also for next week in the regular season finale. I mean, that's another racetrack that seems like it's kind of a Chad Stearns type of track. So yeah, we'll see what he's got next week for us as well. But I mean, I have to personally say, this from a broadcaster standpoint was a fantastic race by these drivers. I mean,
yes.
Really, really good battles. I mean, there were a couple drivers that kind of mentioned that they didn't like it. To be honest, I don't care. We need to do this again. So, I mean, next time you and I will be driving, so maybe we won't feel the same way. But
also true.
But I mean, from a broadcaster standpoint, from an entertainment value, I mean, such great battles side by side all throughout the night. Hope that everybody out there enjoyed it, because I know that we thoroughly did here in the broadcast booth. Shout out to Zach Lockett, Don Golden, Stickers McQueen, Jeremy McKinnon, Lisa Kelly, Robin Matichek, Joshua Rutherford, and Bailey Matichek for being in the chat with us here tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. And you are not going to want to miss what we have on tap for tomorrow night, because it could get a little crazy, and you're going to want to bring your umbrella.
Definitely so. From the looks of the forecast, it could very well rain for the first time in the Daredevil series tomorrow night. And at Mount Panorama, of all places, probably the one track that absolutely doesn't need any rain this season. Actually, I don't know. All of our road courses, if it was going to happen in any of them, Montreal probably should have been the one. But it didn't. So Mount Panorama tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, it's going to get crazy. Be sure to be there. Thursday night, the chase continues. And speaking of crazy, it is Martinsville for the Max CNC Home Design Truck Series, which set the record last time we were there, the channel record, for 28 cautions. So if you want basically a podcast with some racing on Thursday, be sure to join us for the Max CNC Home Design Truck Series at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And then that will loop us back around. And no, it won't, actually, because we've got the Dirt 200 special Friday night. Thanks, Matt Schlosser, for yelling at me in my head. We're going to USA. So 3/4 mile action on the dirt Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. Hope to see you there for that. And then we'll be back for the Venom Truck Series at Indianapolis for the final race of the regular season next Tuesday night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Quickly before we go off air, I want to mention the drivers that have punched their ticket into the postseason. If I could do some quick maths. Let's see. Boo. So, welcome to the postseason. Boy, these maths are not quick enough. Zach Lockett, Chad Stearns, Joshua Matichek, and John Kay. They are officially locked in, which means that Jan Van Leer, Andy Poliski, Andy Ducato, and Garrett Rainey right now have the positions in the top 10. Austin Holyfield now is in 11th. He leapfrogged Joshua Freed. And Holyfield is 14 points out. Freed is 2 behind him. Zittel is 10 behind him. Ellison 2 behind him. Hayden Palumbo has a shot. After a solid performance tonight, he and Steve Roman tied for the 15th position. And any further back than that, I think no realistic shot. And even some of these drivers in the top 15 are kind of unrealistic. But it is going to be a wild week next week in Indianapolis, and we'll hope to see you there. That's all we got for you here tonight on behalf of everybody with the Venom Truck Series. And my partner, Mr. Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook, saying until we meet again, so long, and congratulations to Chad Stearns, winner of the Blast from the Past 125 at Phoenix 2008. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.